Alex Kammer here. I am the director of a little show called Gamehole Con. I'm one of the owners of the True Dungeon Experience, and I am the Haunt Collective. Alright, right this way. Welcome to the game hall.
This is it.
Here we go, enter.
Rolling off with, let's start off with who you are and where we're at, and go
Sure.
from there.
I'm Alex Kammer. We are sitting in a space that I call the Gamehole. It is located above a pub I own here in Middleton, Wisconsin. Middleton is a suburb of Madison, and that's where we are today.
Okay, so what inspired you to create Gamehole Con? Easy one to start.
Yeah. Because it was a group effort, there were a bunch of us that went into doing it. The genesis was originally, well, as you all know, Gen Con used to be in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big deal for us locals, especially Wisconsinites. We could go to the largest D&D centric tabletop gaming show in the world just down the road, and it was awesome. And then it went to Indianapolis, which was fine. You know, Peter Atkinson did so for very good reasons, and you can see the success that show has enjoyed since it's moved to Indianapolis. But it left a void here. And we, the Gamehole, is a game group that's been around for a long time, but almost 20 years now, have always thought that Madison, Wisconsin, is one of the gamingest places in the world in terms of, you know, Madison leads the world in per capita game stores. With the university, with the government of Wisconsin here, we have, and also just a ton of designers. And with the birthplace of D&D being just down the road in Lake Geneva, you know, there's so much gaming going on here in terms of design work, stuff that you are not even aware of, that sort of came forth from TSR. For example, I'm a lawyer. Next door to me is Raven Software, and they're a major video game producer. And you know, I know a lot of those guys. They're directly inspired by D&D and the concept of hit points and armor class and all that kind of stuff. You know, when you all the engines of all the games we enjoy now. And so there's a lot of video game design here and a lot of tabletop game design here. So it's a long way of answering that. We always thought that Madison should be recognized as one of those hotbeds of gaming, and it's amazing we don't have a gaming convention here. There's no reason for it. So that was sort of the background, and then we thought, well, okay, but are we the knuckleheads to do that? I mean, are we really the right for this job? And then we started talking about what it would look like, and this was my input. I said, well, if I'm going to put forth all this much time, and we're all going to put this much time, it's got to be called Gamehole Con, because we're the Gamehole, and we think this is pretty cool. We think our group is pretty cool, despite evidence to the contrary. And it's going to be fun to explain to people why the show has that name. And it's become a lot of an answer that we've had to give a lot. So that's why there's that. It was really a lark. It was a lark plus a void in Madison. We thought, well, let's just see. And so year one, we were pleasantly surprised that it wasn't just us standing around in a hotel. You know, people actually came.
Okay, so came up with Gamehole Con, sitting in this room.
Yeah.
Came up with the Gamehole, thinking what would be the most ridiculous sounding name for a game room ever. So when you start with all that day when you realized we should do a thing, did you think it would be as big as it is now? Coming up on 7?
This is our 7th year. Yep. Yeah, no, not even at all. I mean, literally thought there'd be, you know, a couple dozen people would come, our friends. You know, maybe a few other. There are a lot of gamers in Madison. We thought people would come, but you know, we're talking about the impact that we have on the Madison airport, on Madison hotels. It's crazy. It's yeah, and it's been a real challenge to keep scaling our operation. The guys and I, to keep up with it and make sure, because one thing that we've always just vowed despite how goofy of a name it is, and how joyful and how much of a celebration Gamehole Con is going to be, it is going to run as perfectly as we can make it. Because we have spent years going to different conventions, and it pisses us off to no end when you get there and they don't have your badge, or the game doesn't start when it's supposed to, or the GM's not there, or the directions are unclear as to where you're supposed to go. All that, just all fixable things that just with planning you can do. So, as long as we can provide what we hope to be a tremendous attendee experience, then we'll keep doing Gamehole Con, and that's been a challenge because so many people keep coming, which is wonderful. But it's taken off, and we had no idea it was going to do that.
So where do you think it's going to be in 10 years? Even bigger, or do you think, oh my God, I can't keep doing it?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's I would never have predicted this in 7 years. So 10 years, and we're getting up to some logistical challenges with enough hotel rooms. They just announced a big expansion for the Alliant Energy Center, which is great. But we never aspired to be Gen Con. We've never aspired to be Origins. We didn't want to have a big, huge, 70,000 person show. I don't want to do that. I mean, that sounds like a job. It's already a lot of work, and we're not doing. No one's making any money on this.
Yeah.
We're just doing this because it's fun. We the joy that our fellow gamers take from the experience of the show is the sort of fuel that keeps us going. The fun that we see people having, and that's going to get to the point where it's really a corporate undertaking, and we don't want to do that. We're all employed. We all have jobs, so we don't need another one. So I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm not certainly sitting here today and promising we're in 2019 that in 10 years Gamehole Con will even be a thing. It may not be. We don't have any present plans to stop, but we could get to the point where it's just, hey, we got to sell it, or someone else should got to take it over. It's very possible, but as of now, full steam ahead. Keep doing the fun and the awesome, and we'll see where it goes.
Awesome. So you run a con, very large con, and very rapidly growing con. You have a couple pubs. You have your own Gamehole game room. You're an attorney. You run adventure races, and you write D&D modules with a Kickstarter that's supposed to be due to be published and delivered in November.
Yep.
So tell us about your day. How do you get started? I mean, it's going to be, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, you decide, I've got too much to do, I have to get out of bed.
Yeah. Fortunately, my days vary tremendously. I don't have a classic 8 to 5 job. I'm an attorney in a small firm, and I control my own schedule. So if you picture a sine curve, that looks like my job, hours per week. There are hours where I work 30 hours a week. There are hours where I work 70 hours a week. And so I can sort of manage those ebbs and flows and get lots of stuff done. But yeah, I'm type A as hell. What can I say? I mean, it just is. I'm painfully energetic and all that kind of stuff. And my wife always, has accepted the fact that I'm not happy unless I'm really busy. That I'm always working on something. If we're driving somewhere, I have a laptop open and I'm writing or whatever. I just can't. I have a hard time just saying, okay, I'm going to sit here and do nothing. All right. I'm done.
Later.
I'm done with doing nothing. Let's go do something. I can go. Yeah. So it's a personality flaw.
Yeah, but look what it's created.
Yeah.
Something absolutely incredible that makes people happy.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. I'm having a hell of a good time. The truth is of anything. If you talk to I hear interviews of professional athletes about the time they put in, and you hear the same thing repeated, and that is when you love something, it doesn't feel like work, and that's what it is. So I like what I do. My legal work I enjoy, and as often in as many places in your life that you can find joy, it's amazing how productive you can be in that time. And I feel bad for people who are in jobs that are like, God, I just got to keep this job because I have to pay a mortgage and the usual reasons why we all work. Fortunately, my employment has afforded me. I enjoy it, so even though I need to work just like everyone else, it doesn't sap me of energy, and I can then go be creative and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So looking around, then you've written modules, you're writing more modules. Sort of, who inspired you to do that? What was it that inspired you to give that a try? You said, "Yep, I'm going to do one."
Yeah. I've been playing D&D forever and playing role-playing games, Savage Worlds, Call of Cthulhu, forever, and so done a lot of homebrewing, so writing my own stuff for our own campaigns. But what got me to actually dipped my toe in the water was the release of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. It's such an elegant rule set, you know, and I really love, as you can see, I love all the rule sets. I have all the D&D sets are great. Everyone has strengths, but I just love 5th edition. In fact, you see that clock up there? It was roasted at a convention. It's called North Texas RPG Con, great convention, and they do an auction, and in the middle of it there's a roast. They were calling me the Flavor Flav of 5e because I'm promoting 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons so much because I love it. I think it's just the greatest thing. And so it's because I love the rule set so much. I started writing a few things for D&D Adventures League, and then I've gone into full publishing. I've written freelance for a bunch of different publishers, and my Kickstarter, it's all done. It's being printed right now. It's in the printer's hands. That's going to be delivered. My book Sea King's Malice, which is going to come in November. Is a dream that I've always had. When I was 12 years old and saw this on the shelves at Value Village in Portage, Wisconsin, the thought of my having a hardbound D&D book with my name on it, that's truly a dream that I've always had. So that's going to come true shortly for me. And I just can't wait till I get it in my hands.
Is it going to be available before Gamehole Con, or is it going to be delivered at Gamehole Con?
I think it's, I don't know. The publisher, you have to ask them. I think they're going to plan on delivering it. Kickstarter might get it before that.
Yeah,
Go back to the Kickstarter, but I don't think it's going to. Oh, well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I don't think it's going to go into distribution before then. I think they plan to splash out the show, and then hand it out from there.
Okay.